Hello, Amartya. Hello, hello, hello,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Amartya. Yeah, yeah. Is it visible? Screen is visible.
Yes,
Is the screen visible? Hello.
yes, sir. Visible.
What is it? Mechanics of syllabus is there, na?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Syllabus on the screen.
Sir,
ఇది ఎప్పుడో ఒకసారి బాగా ప్లేస్ అన్నాడు కూడా ప్లేస్ అన్నాడు
No. Is it mechanics of solid syllable visible?
no, sir. Some folder, desktop folder is open, sir.
Desktop is open, na?
Yes, sir.
Really? Now the screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
అది 50% డేటా అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు మిగిలిన సరిపోతే ఓకే, లేదంటే మళ్ళీ అప్పుడు వాడుకుంటాను. నేను ఫోన్ వాడుకోవద్దు అయితే నేను అక్కడి నుంచి ఏం ఫోన్ వచ్చింది కదా.
Okay, Amartya, shall we start? Please
Yes,
ask
sir.
your classmates to join. Like in that group, I have kept
Okay,
message
sir.
also.
Okay, sir.
Sir, good morning, sir. Rakumar, sir. Okay, we'll start the class.
Okay, sir.
So yesterday I have put 3 videos. So I hope you have all viewed those videos. So in those 3 videos which I have sent, wherein 2 marks questions, it will be helpful for your 2 marks questions. So there is no point in neglecting those 2 marks questions, because 2 marks question constitutes for 20 marks, wherein you need to attempt those 2 marks question in order for you to clear this subject, right? So similarly, I'll post videos. You can go through them before coming to the class. So what is that we are going to do is, as we deal with this syllabus of mechanics of solids, where it consists of unit 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we'll concentrate today on simple stresses and strains. And in simple stresses and strains, I'll go through 2 to 3 important problems related to these simple stresses and strains. Okay. So whatever the material which I have sent, it is very much useful for your theory aspect, right? So if you look into unit 1, which consists of elasticity and plasticity, types of stresses and strains, Hooke's law. So most of these things are very well known to you. Moreover, in our previous class, that is the video, I kept stress strain diagram for mild steel, right? So stress strain diagram for mild steel, where mild steel is a ductile material. Okay. So we can also say that as a stress strain diagram for a ductile material. So stress strain diagram for ductile material, what are the different phases in them? So all those things have been listed out in yesterday's video, wherein for some ductile materials you can also say as aluminium, mild steel is one, and alloys, and mild steel alloys are there, copper, magnesium, brass, nickel, and many more are there. Okay, so stress strain diagram is an important thing which you need to know. Stress strain diagram for ductile material as well as stress strain diagram for brittle material, right? So brittle material, without giving any notice, it is going to fail immediately. But for ductile material, it will take different points on the stress strain curve, like proportionality limit, elastic limit, and yield point, upper yield point, lower yield point. Okay, so ultimate strength and fracture. So fracture is the last point where the material is going to fail. So till proportionality limit, it is going to follow Hooke's law, where within elastic limit, stress is directly proportional to strain, right? So there are various regions also in this, like elastic region, elastic behavior, right? Yielding region, strain hardening region, and necking region, right? So apart from elastic region, the rest of the 3 regions like yielding, strain, and necking, these 3 are called as plastic behavior of the material, right? So before entering into it, let us see what actually is strength of materials and what it constitutes of. You know, there are different words for strength of materials, which is called as mechanics of solids or mechanics of deformable bodies. As far as mechanical engineering is concerned, it is called as mechanics of solids, right? So this strength of materials, it depends upon, or mechanics of solids depends upon 3 to 4 factors, right? So first is strength, then stability, then deformation, and the cost. So these 4 things are to be kept in mind whenever you try to go for building a structure or building a machine or for analysis, right? Strength, stability, deformation, as well as cost, right? So as far as engineering mechanics is concerned, you have studied about statics, dynamics, and his mechanics of materials. So study of internal effects and deformations that are caused by applied forces. We are going to deal with this part. Okay. So when you go for, I'm going to give this PDF for you. This is all theory part. You can go through it. But finally, with respect to these 2 pages, what we can say is, we can say that strength, stability, deformation, and cost aspect, if you keep in mind when you're trying to design a component or a structure or any machine part, then you need to deal with all these things when you study strength of materials. So the subject which deals with analytical determination of strength, deformation, okay, which is called stiffness, and the stability of different members is designated as strength of materials, right? So this is how it is going to be. So concept of stress is all known to us, what stress is, right? So stress, as far as the formula is concerned, you know it as load by area. But when you look into it, it's a mechanics of deformable solids where externally applied forces act on a body and body suffers deformation, right? So so intensity of internal resistive force is known as stress. So 2 types of deformations, plastic and elastic deformations, and types of stresses wherein direct stress, torsional, bending, all these will be given to you. Therefore, you will not focus much on theory aspect. And that videos what I have sent, it is going to cover more effectively. So go through those videos. So generally, when anybody asks, it is internal resistance, sectional loading. You can say it in that way, right? So stress is equal to load by area, unit is Newton per meter square of Pascal. Okay, so these are unit conversions. We can go through those. Strain, when we come to strain, it is defined as deformation to external loading, or we can say it as change in length by original length. Okay, so strains are called as linear strains. Fine. So stress is that which we cannot see, but strain is that which is visible, because strain is change in length by original length, so it is visible, but stresses which are developed or induced within the body cannot be seen, right? So I have focused on two important questions. So from here on, you need to concentrate more. So apart from these two questions, what I'm going to discuss, so the important things in this strength of materials is the stress strain diagram. So I hope if you didn't go through it, now it is time for you to go through these things so that you can understand them in a better way, right? So is my audio low? Low? Is it not visible? It is not audible? Hello?
Audible, sir.
Okay, fine, fine. Right. So we'll start important question. So these questions are being asked in JNTU exams, or maybe any university exam. These questions are asked. Therefore, we will try to focus on these two questions as of today is concerned. So you may ask which part of these questions are right. So these questions, what it says is, if you look into it, there is a steel bar, it seems, of diameter 25. Its cross section is a circular cross section. Is acted upon by forces as shown in the figure. What is the total elongation of the bar? Right, now look here. This is a circular cross section. Fine. So if I try to see the front view of this circular cross section, so this everything is being given as a part of the problem. What he asks is, he's asking us to find out what is the total elongation of the bar due to the effect of 60 Newton, 20 Newton, 30 Newton, and 50 Newton, 50 kilonewton forces which are acting on it, right? So in general, when you say it as a circular cross section, okay, it is going to look in this way. It is going to look in this way, where the 60 kilonewton represents this 60 kilonewton which is over there. This 50 kilonewton represents the 50 kilonewton. But we are not dealing with the three-dimensional figures. If it is given in three-dimensional way also, we should be in a position to draw the two-dimensional diagram and you try to deal with the problem. If it is given in this way, where 60 kilonewton is there, 20 kilonewton here, 30 kilonewton here, and 50 kilonewton, when it is given in three-dimensional way also, you should be in a position to draw the two-dimensional aspect of a front view and then deal with the problem. Fine. So if given in this way, don't get confused. The same thing is being represented in 3D form. Okay. Right. So this you don't need to concentrate on. Mostly it is being asked in this way. Now look here. We can divide this into the steel bar of 25 mm diameter into three sections. He has divided. We have not done it. He has given it in the problem. So we can say this as part 1, part 2, part 3, or section 1, section 2, section 3, and respective forces are being there. So what we need to do is, we need to first of all balance the forces. Okay. So what I have taken is, look here. This section I have drawn it over here. Okay. And this second section I have drawn it beneath, and this third section I have drawn it over here. That means I have separated them such that individually I'll try to balance each and every section, right? So you can start either from 60 kilonewtons or you can start from 50 kilonewtons, but I'll start from 50 kilonewtons. So when there is 50 kilonewton force which is already given, okay, when I have separated this section and written it over here, I need to apply an equal amount of force of 50 kilonewton in the opposite direction, such that this part 3 is going to be balanced. Okay, 50 kilonewton force is given in the problem, so this same 50 I have taken it over here. But separately, if I follow the divide and rule policy, if I try to separately deal with this part 3, I need to apply a force of 50 kilonewton in the opposite direction. Now this is balanced. Okay, now come down. as 50 Newton force is there, okay, as 2 is attached to this part, so in order for these two to be in balanced mode, 50 Newton should also act in the other direction. Therefore, this same 50 kilonewton I have put it over here. Okay, but actually in the problem he has given 30 kilonewton. As far as the part 2 is concerned, he has given 30 kilonewton. Therefore, what I will do is I will also take that 30 kilonewton. Okay, so 30 kilonewton and 50 kilonewton both are in the same direction. Therefore, you can add these two and say that as 80 kilonewton. Okay, so if this is 80 kilonewton acting in this direction, I want this part 2 to be balanced. Okay, therefore I need to apply 80 kilonewton in the opposite direction. Okay, so I have applied 80 kilonewton force. So I have applied 80 kilonewton force. Therefore, 80 kilonewton to the left side and 80 kilonewton to the right side. This is completely balanced. Now I need to look into this part. Okay, I have come from this position. I went over there. Then I'm moving. So in order for 80 kilonewton as it is there, I can keep that same 18 kilonewton. Okay, because these two has to be balanced. But already with respect to segment 1, there is a 20 kilonewton force. There is a 20 kilonewton force. Therefore, I'll apply this 20 kilonewton force over here. Therefore, net force in the sense, if you add or subtract these two forces, 80 is in one direction, 20 is in the opposite direction. Therefore, 80 minus 20 if you do, which is 60 kilonewton. Okay, in this direction also it should be 60 kilonewtons. Already in the problem it is given as 60 kilonewtons. Therefore, our entire analysis as far as divide and rule policy is concerned, our assumptions are 100% correct. Okay. Now please look here. I'll try to explain this once again. Kindly listen carefully. As three portions are there in this steel bar of circular cross section, I have separated those three portions. This is portion 1, I have drawn it over here. This portion 2, I have drawn it over here. This portion 3, I have drawn it over here. Okay. So I'll start from this portion 3. Portion 3 has 50 kilonewton force, which is in this direction. So in order for this 50 kilonewton to be balanced, I need to apply over here one more 50 kilonewton. Then only this part 3 or segment 3 is in balanced mode. Okay. Now I have dealt with part 3. Now I need to deal with part 2. Okay. So when I think of part 2 and part 3, when you want to relate this, as 50 kilonewton force is in this direction, in the opposite direction you should go for 50 kilonewton, the same 50 kilonewton in the opposite direction. Okay, but so along with that 50 kilonewton what you have put forth, this 30 kilonewton is there as a part of the problem. So 30 kilonewton is in this direction. Therefore, the net force is 50 minus 30, which is nothing but 80 kilonewton. So 80 kilonewton is in this direction. In order for this part 2 to be balanced, 80 kilonewton has to be applied in the opposite direction. So you have applied it in the opposite direction. Okay. Now go for part 1. 80 kilonewton in this direction. Therefore, the same 80 kilonewton to take it in the opposite direction. So this is 80 kilonewton. Fine. So net force already 20 kilonewton is there. Therefore, I put 20 kilonewton. 80 minus 20 is 60. 60 is already there. In this way, you need to balance the net forces by separating all these three. You can move from this direction and go over there, or you can come from this direction and move over there. Nothing for you to worry. So by the principle of superposition, what superposition says, principle says is net elongation. Net elongation, elongation isn't elongation of the bar. Now one more thing what you need to keep in mind is, I have put plus over here in also in plus and also plus in all the three segments. Why it is plus is because 50 kilonewton, it will stretch. Okay, it will stretch, it will elongate. Therefore, it is plus. Even 80 kilonewton in one direction, 80 kilonewton in other direction, those two forces are trying to elongate the part 2. Therefore, it is also plus. And 60 kilonewton and 60 kilonewton, they are going to elongate part 1. Therefore, it is also plus. Okay, that is the reason I have taken plus. So now come to this principle. Net elongation is equal to sum of individual elongations. Sum of individual elongations. Therefore, when you go for sum of individual elongations, so delta L, elongation in the sense change in length, right? Delta L is equal to delta 1 L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. You may observe why, how did delta L has come. So how did delta L has come is, we know Young's modulus is equal to stress by strain. Young's modulus E is equal to stress sigma by strain. So E is equal to stress by strain. But what is stress? Stress is equal to load by area. This is load by area. Stress is equal to load by area in Newton per meter square. And strain is equal to change in length by original length. Okay. So from this, 1 by 2 by 3 by 4, it is going to be, when you calculate delta L, this is going to be PL by AE. Okay. PL by AE. So PL by AE, delta L is equal to PL by AE. Now, when you say delta is equal to PL by AE, so that is for single one, but you have as three portions, therefore it will going to be delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. In this way, you have obtained change in length or net elongation as delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. Now, what is this delta L1? Delta L1 is PL by AE. So P1 L1 by A1 E1, A1 E1. Okay. P2 L2 by A2 E2, P3 L3 by A3 E3. But the cross section is, area of cross section is same because diameter is same. Therefore, A1 is equal to A2 is equal to A3 is equal to A. And even Young's modulus is given as same, 190 GPa throughout the section, 190 to 10 power 9 Newton per meter square. Okay. So those things are same. A and E are same. A, how you will calculate pi by 4 into d square. So d is 0.025. So 0.025, when you calculate, it is going to get this way. But what about P1, P2, P3 in this formula? P1, P2, P3, what are these? L1, L2, L3 is, L1 is 2 meters, L2 is 1 meter, L3 is 3 meter. But what is P1, P2, P2, P3 is, P1 is nothing but 60. 60 in this direction, 60 in this direction. Okay. Next 80. 80 in this direction, 80. Similarly, 50. So P1 is 60, P2 is 80, P3 is 50. So P1 is 60, P2 is 80, P3 is 50 kilometer. So you have to be very, very meticulous in knowing what P1, P2, P3 values are. Okay. So what I'll do is, I have taken out, because A and E both are common, so I have taken it 1 by AE common. So P1 L1 plus P2 L2 plus P3 L3. When I have put forth P1 L1, P2 L2, P3 L3, so I have got delta L as 3.75 into 10 power minus 3 meters. After substituting A1 L1, sorry, A, E, P1 L1, P2 L2, P3 L3, I have got the elongation, net elongation as 3.75 mm. That is how I have dealt with this problem. So these kind of problems are asked in JNTU exams. So previous questions, these problems are asked. So moreover, I'll try to keep the printout, or what I can say is photo from textbooks. Therefore, you can practice similar kind of problems. But whatever method I have told you, in that same method you try to follow. Moreover, I'll send this audio also so that you can go for looking into it. Now, second problem. Let us see how we deal with the second problem. Second problem is not different from first problem, but the thing is, area of cross section differs. Okay, when area of cross section differs, diameter is going to differ. Length, it is up to them, whatever length they give. So look here, a steel bar has 3 segments as shown in the figure. Find total elongation in the bar. That means delta L you have to find. Second, length of the middle segment to have 0 elongation. Diameter of the last segment to have 0 elongation. So these two parts we will see in the end. First of all, we will concentrate on total elongation of the bar. Okay. Now look here. In exam, maybe this 2-dimensional front view may not be given. He might be giving in this way. Okay, where D1 is 15 mm, D2 is 30 mm, D3 is 20 mm. Okay, if he gives in 3-dimensional way, you can make it as 2-dimensional and solve the problem. Okay, that is important. So 300 Newton means somewhere around here you will have 300 Newton. 330 330. 80 over here it will be 80. So in that way also you can ask, right? So nothing for you to worry. Now we will start this problem. Just how like in the first problem, I have divided this into 3 parts. Similarly, I'll divide this. This is part 1, this is part 2, this is part 3. Okay. So in this part 1, part 2, part 3, I am starting from now. As this end is, we can say it is fixed. So I am starting from the free end. So free end is 80 kilonewton. When it is not fixed at either end, then you can start from any end. But here it is fixed. Therefore, I am trying to start from this end. Okay. So I will try to start from this end. So when I start from this end of 80 kilonewton, please observe, when I try to start from this end of 80 kilonewton, I have to balance this 80 kilonewton. Therefore, I'll keep 80 kilonewton over there. It is balanced. Now,
Sir, if you start from first,
what is it?
sir, if we start from part 1, what will happen, sir? From
This
not
side?
from direct part.
This side?
Yeah, this side. Ah, yes, sir.
This side
One.
there is no force, na? There is no force
Okay, sir.
acting. So you cannot go for net force. Therefore, 80 kilonewton. So 80 kilonewton, this is balanced. And these two are pulling. This is a pull, therefore it is positive. Because there is going to be elongation. Now come here. This 80 kilonewton, I have put it over here. Okay. But if you see, initially itself 320 kilonewton is there. So 330 kilonewton, it is trying to push this. Okay. So when you take the net force, 330 minus 80, it is 250 Newton. Okay. So 250 Newton in which direction? In the direction of the major force. So in this direction. Therefore, I have taken 250 in this direction only. Okay. So when I have 250 in this direction, I should also have a 250 force in this direction, such that this is going to be, that is segment 2 is going to be balanced. Okay. Segment 2 will be balanced. Okay. Is it okay? So it will be balanced. But what this 250 Newton in this direction and 250 Newton in this direction they are doing is, they are trying to compress this. They are trying to compress this block. Okay. Or part. So when they are trying to compress, you will not have elongation just like plus, but you will have minus over here. Did you understand this point? Why there is minus? Because 250 Newton force and 250 Newton force, they are trying to compress this element too. That is why there is a negative sign. Now, when you had 250 kilonewton over here, okay, in the opposite direction, I should have 250 kilonewton, but basically over here you have 300 kilonewton. So both for these two, you need to find out the net force. So when you find out net force, one is in positive, one is in this direction, other is in the opposite direction. So 300 minus 250 is 50 kilonewton. So 50 kilonewton, in which direction it is going to be? In the direction of the major force. So this is 50 kilonewton. 50 kilonewton. So when you have 50 kilonewton in this direction, you should have 50 kilonewton in the opposite direction. Therefore, everything is being balanced. Okay. So this aspect, what we need to learn, I have told it. I'll just again recap. I'll again tell you. Please look here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 portions of different diameters are put as 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I have started from 80 kilonewton. So singly I have taken it 80 kilonewton. So 80 kilonewton opposite direction. So this is in this direction. Therefore I put 80 kilonewton. But 330 kilonewton is there. Therefore this is 330 kilonewton. Net resultant force 250 in this direction. Therefore you have to put 250 in this direction. But these two 250 are trying to compress this. Therefore this is negative. So this 250 in this direction. So go for the first one. Connectivity 250 in the other direction. But 300 is there. Therefore take net force 50. In the opposite direction it is 50. Right. So in this way you need to do it. So net elongation.
Sir,
Net
I have a doubt. Sir.
Yeah, please ask.
Sir, and second bar, first 250 newtons is acting inwards, right? It's compressing that bar.
Yes, exactly.
And first one, why we should take in opposite direction, sir?
Where this one, huh?
Yes, sir.
This 250.
Yes, sir.
Because this 250 Newton is in this direction. Okay.
Yes, sir. It's compressing this.
It is compressing. Therefore, when it is compressing, or though it is compressing or though it is elongating, when you want to give connectivity to bar 2 and bar 1, when bar 2 is in this direction, automatically you have to take this in the opposite direction. Okay? Hello? Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Now, so delta L is equal to delta L1 minus delta L2 plus delta L3. This is delta L1, this is minus delta L2 plus delta L3. But in the first problem, it was delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. So, but it has changed. So, P1 L1 by A1 E1. Please mute your audios. Mute your Please mute yourself. Okay. So P1 L1 by A1 E1 minus P2 L2 by A2 E2. This is known to us. Therefore, delta L is equal to 1 by E. E is constant, but A1, A2, A3 they differ. Okay? So A1 pi by 4 d square, A2 pi by 4 d square, A3 pi by 4 d square. With respect to the different diameters you gave, where are the diameters here? Diameters we solve, you are going to get A1, A2 and A3. Please mute yourself. Okay. Now, please listen here. So if you try to substitute all these values, you are going to get delta L as 0.173 mm approximately. So first part is finished. What is first part? Total elongation in the bar. Now look for the second one. Length of the middle segment to have zero elongation of the bar. Please look here. Length of the middle segment for zero elongation of the bar.
Handwriting isn't visible.
Handwriting is visible for me clearly. Not understood?
But I'm not able to understand it, sir.
You have to understand. You have to understand any writing, right? Okay?
I can't understand your handwriting, sir.
Okay, we will see an alternative then. Okay? Now, length of the middle segment for zero elongation. Length of the middle segment for, that is what the problem is. Now, length of the middle segment for zero elongation means he is already saying that there has to be zero elongation. Okay? So, when there has to be zero elongation, delta L should be equal to 0. So, when delta L is equal to 0, what is the value of L2? That is what he is asking. Length of the middle segment for zero elongation. So zero elongation means delta is equal to 0. So delta L is equal to 0. When delta L is equal to 0, what is the value of L2? Okay. So this all thing is delta L. Okay. So PL by AE. Okay. So P is 50,000. P1 L1 by A1 minus P2 L2 by A2 minus P3 L3 by A3. So here L2 is unknown because L2 has to be found out. So when L2 has to be found out, when there is zero elongation. So if you put delta L is equal to 0, you can easily get L2 value. L2 value will be 300 mm. Try to solve this, then you are going to get 300 mm. Now, third portion, diameter of the last segment. What is it? It seems diameter of the last segment for zero elongation. Now, zero elongation you want, that means delta L is equal to 0. But what is the value of D3 you have to find out, because diameter of the last segment was D3, right? So the same thing I have put forth. So what I have put forth is, I have put forth in this way, where D3 is the unknown. D3 is unknown. So D3 has to be unknown. So what should be the value of D3 when there has to zero elongation to exist? So that is what I have found out. So D3 is equal to 30 mm. So 30 mm is what I have found out. So all the three problems we have represented. All the three problems. First one is total elongation of the bar. Total elongation in the sense delta L is equal to. So based on this, net forces delta L is equal to delta L1 minus delta L2, delta L1 minus delta L2 plus delta L3. So you have found out delta L1, L2, L3. Okay. Now the next is length of the middle segment to have zero elongation. Zero elongation in the sense delta L. Okay, net elongation delta L. So in this, we have zero elongation, delta L is equal to 0. Middle segment, what is the length? That L2 has to be found out. Similarly, T3 has to be found out. So try to practice these two problems along with the theory aspects of Unit 1. In tomorrow's class, we will see more problems. So if possible, I'll try to improve my handwriting also. So don't try to go for them.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you repeat? Can you explain the first problem, sir? Of principle, you can explain, sir.
Principle of superposition. Huh?
Sir.
This
First
one?
problem.
Yeah, this is first problem.
Yes, sir. Principle of signaling. Yes, sir.
Now look here. As in the problem, he was saying to find out the net elongation. Is it not? So net elongation. Only 4 minutes is there. I'll try to find out. So what is the total elongation of the bar? So total elongation of the bar is delta L. This is formula. How you got this formula is, you got this formula from this. What is it? Young's modulus is equal to stress by strain. Okay. So Young's modulus E is equal to stress by strain. But stress is load by area in Newton per meter square. Strain is change in length by original length. Okay. So therefore, I can find out delta L. So delta L, when I found out, it was PL by AE. So delta L, as you have it. So this portion and this portion, you can go for it. Delta L is equal to PL by AE. Therefore, that is how I have got delta L. So PL by AE means, so P1 L1 by A1 E1, P2 L2 by A2 E2, P3 L3 by A3 E3. That is what I have done it. Any doubt in this?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Okay, fine. So I have got only 3
Sir.
minutes. Yeah, please.
Sir, explain stress strain diagram, sir.
Stress strain diagram.
Yes, sir.
Stress strain diagram tomorrow. I have given that video. No, you didn't see that.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I have not put it here, but I'll tell you.
Okay.
Stress strain diagram will be there for two things. One is for ductile materials, other is for brittle materials. Ductile materials are those materials where when you apply the load, they are going to elongate, and they'll fail at particular point. Those are called as ductile materials. So example for ductile materials are mild steel is there, aluminum is there, magnesium, brass, nickel, bronze. Okay. But what brittle materials are? Brittle materials, if you apply load without any intent without any information, they'll break. So they'll break suddenly. Understood? So but for ductile material, that is stress strain diagram for ductile materials. So what are the limits which you have is, you have proportionality limit. Okay. You have elastic limit, you have yield point, right? And you also have ultimate strength, all those things. So what I'll do is, next class 5 minutes I'll explain stress strain diagram. Is it okay?
Okay, sir.
For the next
Okay,
Sir,
class?
you can send this material, sir.
Yeah, I'll send. I'll put this one. But you only focus on the problems what I told, the two problems. Okay? So these two problems you focus. Rest of the things are.
Any, sir, your voice is structured.
What is it?
Sir,
Intama?
Yes, I can. Yes.
sir, అర్థం కాలేదు సార్ మీరు ఏం చెప్పారు బ్రేక్ అయింది వాయిస్
Break in, sir.
Voice break in, sir.
Please concentrate on the problems what I have told today. Okay?
ఓకే
sir.
సార్
Moreover, I'll give similar problems where you have solutions, okay, from the textbook. Even practice those problems also. Whatever is there, I'll try to keep it in your group, right? And has anybody taken the screenshot of attendance?
Sir.
Has anybody taken the screenshot? Because that is important.
నో సార్
HOD sir will ask. Okay, wait. I am taking. Don't leave. Anybody, don't exit. When you have any doubt, you please keep it in. Please keep it in that group. Do you understand?
ఎస్ సార్
So that I can answer or I can clarify. If you have any doubt in the problem also, you please keep that problem so that I can find solution to that and I'll try to